perfect demonstration, as I said, I would usually grind it a bit coarser, so bigger pieces, but I'll just basically show you the technique. So we're very important about doing a good quality pour over is temperature can affect your coffee result, age of the coffee, the quality of the coffee, the size of the coffee grind, and your technique. There's a lot of different ways to pour. It may seem simple, but just pouring, just pour. There's a special basic technique.
Có nhiều kỹ thuật để mà các bạn có thể pha bằng tay.
So
Như vậy.
in this example, I'm going to use, I'll actually use the finer espresso grind. I hope it works well. It probably won't, but I'll give you a basic example of what it will look like. Not going to taste very good, but I just want to show you what it looks like to brew. So in this case, temperature-controlled water, very important, and the temperature is part of the recipe, okay? And it depends on the coffee, what temperature you want, and you choose that, you taste that, you do that, you try that, this temperature is good, this one better, okay, I use that one, okay?
Cái nhiệt độ nước thì cũng rất là quan trọng, thì tùy vào loại cà phê như thế nào thì các bạn sẽ có cái nhiệt độ nước khác nhau.
I will weigh very carefully how many grams I use of the coffee.
Chúng ta phải cân bao nhiêu lượng cà phê chúng ta cần.
There's no guessing to this. There is some guessing, but when you get your recipe perfect, you want it to be perfect because half a gram, 1 gram, changes everything. 1 degree Celsius changes the product. Alright, so in this case we have our apparatus. I'm going to use this milk pitcher and this V60. As I said, temperature affects the result. So what I would normally do is I would preheat these items. Okay, so if this is cold now, and I put water inside, the coffee will be cold. Okay? So what I would normally do is with the right temperature, I would actually
Cái nhiệt độ nó rất là quan trọng, cho nên là thường mình sẽ làm nóng.
warm the vessel with a V60 paper. I fold the edge and place it inside. Now I don't want to put coffee in yet. I also want to wet the paper. And wetting the paper. The reason for this, all the coffee oils will actually soak the paper and not go inside the coffee. So I want the coffee in here, not on here.
Bạn tưới cái nước đó vào để tránh cái trường hợp mà cà phê nó sẽ bị rơi xuống trong cái ly ở dưới.
Okay, so as I said, this is not going to be a perfect demonstration. This is how I make it. The coffee size that you grind is too fine. Okay, I'm just going to do a demonstration. Okay. So I'm going to try and get some coffee here.
Chúng ta sẽ xem, nhưng mà thường là người ta sẽ không dùng cái loại hạt cà phê với kích cỡ này, nó quá mịn.
I would normally want this to be a bigger piece of coffee, and I would normally want to weigh it perfectly. I would actually have my grind through a commercial grinder, and I would weigh very specifically to know what I'm starting with. Then I have my recipe. Okay, so let's say for 1 cup, how much coffee and how much water is very important. That's your recipe. So this is don't do this.
Thường là với hạt cái loại mà
Not
pha cà phê thủ công
this
như
is
vậy,
not how to do it.
cái hạt nó
I'm
không
just
khô.
going to demonstrate. Okay? But usually I would have different grinder. My grinder would be a special grinder, not for espresso, and I would take this coffee in here very carefully, and I would weigh it. I would know, okay, this is how many grams. So I have how many grams, how much water. Put them together is my recipe. Okay? And there's special ratios and examples that many people do. The key is it tastes good. What tastes good? Experiment. Try. Start from what you have been taught So when we're brewing M2T, so everything's hot. So this is hot. This is hot. Coffee's inside, and this is the temperature you want. The first stage in pour over is I want to wet, just wet this coffee grind. Now this is one technique, not the only technique for brewing pour over coffee.
Chứ lúc đầu tiên là mình làm ướt cái hạt cà phê.
Okay. So the shape of this is very important, so I can control the water. So the first part is me wanting just to wet. How close? I just want all that coffee wet. Okay. Enough coffee is wet, and then I would be timing. Okay, I'm timing.
Bạn cứ đợi.
What will happen is the carbon dioxide in here starts to wake up. If it's fresh coffee, okay? It'll wake up. You see it bubbling away. It will actually do blooming when you expand. Okay? So we have this expansion. Usually 30 to 45 seconds we do this.
Khoảng 30 đến 45 giây.
Then to finish, I'll go in circles, inside, outside, until I know that even so much that I'm measuring how this is brewing. I would usually have this on top of a set of scales, and while I'm brewing, I can tell how many grams of water I put inside, and then I will stop. And that recipe is very important to get excellence in your coffee. So then this will slowly take its time to brew and brew and brew. This one will be very slow because the grind coffee is very small, too small. We want it a little bit bigger so that it will absorb and it will then flow through and filter. Let's do it.
Cái này nó chảy hơi chậm một chút tại vì cà phê của chúng ta xay mịn ha.
So there's lots of different tools. This one is a particular, very special type of weighing scale. On here, it has a timer. The minute I put my cup here and I pour, the timer starts. It tells me how many minutes and seconds. It will tell me how many grams of water. So there's amazing technology. Technology is changing the quality of our coffee.
Cái máy đo đó thì có thể cho chúng ta biết được thời gian cũng như cái lượng cà phê mà chúng ta lấy được.
So, this is just an example. At the end of that, you have what will be a brew. This is not going to be a nice brew. I won't drink this, but we'll see what it looks like. You'll find it's quite clear. Pour-overs tend to be like, if I could say, if coffee was tea, what would it look like? Okay. This is quite dark, but you can see in my cup, when I get out, I move it around, there's actually transparency in there. So because this is an espresso roast, you see I can see through. And this one is quite dark, it's espresso coffee, and you see transparency, and it'll be quite a clear cup. Usually it's very light. It looks like tea, a light tea. And then you have the opportunity of exploring the different flavours that you can find in the coffee. Okay, so let's come over to the espresso machine. I want everyone parts of the bar. We'll try to be as neat and tidy and clean as possible. Okay, so important in... Can I get my knock box? Is the knock box? Where the two knock boxes, where are they going?
Cho anh đứng ké bên đây cái anh quay phim về anh coi.
Okay, I need the knock box. Knock box. The rubbish box. Okay, so this is an espresso machine, and there are some important parts of this machine that I want you to take note of. Important part of a good bar that you run and operate for your own business, it has to be efficient. It has to be organised. Okay? So your machine needs to be, thank you very much, your machine needs to be close to the grinder. Very simple, right? If you're machinist and your grinders over here, or even your machinist and your grinders here, that's also a bit dangerous, right? So if people are walking, and you're working with me, you're walking and I turn around and bang. So efficiency, good planning.
Cái điều quan trọng là bạn phải có để cái máy pha cà phê với lại cái máy pha espresso này nó gần nhau để mà có thể tiết kiệm thời gian cũng như là cái cách mình làm.
I like the bar to have a nice clean flow. I take an order here, my computer prints here, I get my order, I can place my order somewhere, I get one espresso, one latte, I get my tools, and then I grind, I tamp. Ready? I load, I brew, I use my milk, I pour, I serve. Very simple, right? I went from one side through to finish. Doesn't matter, from left to right, go right to left. My bar, left to right. But it depends on your setup. So important is that flow. Make it flow good for you. Efficiency. Don't have things too far away. Don't make too many movements that waste your time. Customers waiting to try and deliver. But you can do so friendly. You can do so in engagement. And if you're good enough, you're doing that, and you're doing this, and you're watching, and then you're talking, and your engagement, and then everything's going wonderfully, and you're giving an experience. It's not just coffee. Because that's the second wave. No one's interested. We're now in the future. Let's engage. What did I tell you? What's the most important thing for a successful business?
Cái điều quan trọng nhất khi mà cho một cái doanh nghiệp thành công là
What's the first thing I told you? The most important thing for a successful business. Before that, what's the most important resource that I have in my business?
cái điều gì là quan trọng nhất trong cái công ty?
People. People.
Yes. People. Okay? Look after your people. You've got a good co-worker, your customer interaction, you smile, you engage, you interact. It's not now just selling a product, you're now selling a service. So, good design, good planning, good organization, good customer service. And it doesn't mean just, hey, you get too much, woo, yeah, I like this guy's great. Yeah. Let's go for drinks, It's like, whoa, relax. Too much. It's like, learn the level. Take the opportunity to get to know your customer. Okay?
Khi mà các bạn pha cà phê á, thì các bạn cũng có tạo ra được cái sự tương tác với lại khách hàng của mình cũng như là những cái người xung quanh, không chỉ là chỉ pha cà phê không.
Other one that's very obvious is hygiene, cleanliness.
Cái điều quan trọng nhất là về vệ sinh.
Okay, so let me try and walk you through this setup of my clean bar. So I usually like this right to left, and it's nearly how I like it. So you won't see all this extra stuff everywhere, but I have maybe my ordering station is here. So I've taken my order. My grinder, my knock box. This thing here, this is a grinder, this is your espresso machine. This here is a knock box. Okay, when you have old coffee, when you're finished,
Bạn sẽ cho bã cà phê vào trong cái hộp
into this is rubbish, okay, for coffee. That can be on either side, but think about your flow. This could be a standing unit, this could be in my cafe, is built inside the counter. So if I make any mistakes, the mess is efficient, goes in here if it's messy. It's a really easy design. But this should be nearby, near this so we can empty easily, quickly. So a grinder and a knock box. We have a towel that is used to dry wipe your portafilter.
Cái khăn này thì để dùng để lau cái tay cầm.
Okay? A barista towel. You will have a tamper.
Bạn sẽ có cái
You have a tamper mat.
để mình nếm rồi cái miếng nếm.
You'll have an espresso machine. Your espresso machine can have cups on top. The reason is
ở trên
heat.
máy
Heating the cups. As I said, temperature changes the coffee. So
để làm
warm
nóng
cup.
cái ly.
This is a good warm cup. Feel this? This is a good temperature of your cups. If it's
Đây
more
là cái
than
nhiệt độ tốt
more
cho cái
than
ly
this.
cà phê của bạn nha.
and it's too hot, what happens?
Nếu mà nó nóng quá thì sao?
Burn yourself.
Có nghĩa là
No
cái này-
one
cái
enjoys
này nó tỏa nhiệt
burning
ra là nó
themselves
nóng
drinking
trong
coffee.
cái ly.
Burn
Bạn sẽ
yourself.
dễ
So temperature, because water coming out of here is very hot. 94 degrees Celsius at the boiler, and maybe 86 degrees at the head.
Anh hiểu như là nhờ cái
So when
phần
it
nó
hits
bên
the
trên
cup,
nó tỏa nhiệt ra
it will still be
rồi
very hot,
người ta tận dụng để
but too hot to
nó
drink.
nóng ly
So
ra.
you've got to find that balance. Temperature makes a difference.
Cái máy đa số là
Your cups should be, of course, clean,
tản nhiệt
Cái ly của bạn
which
chắc chắn
means
là
that
phải
your
sạch.
equipment is clean. It's looked after on a daily basis. Every day you look after it. We have so the portafilters, we have our saucers, we have spoons for the cups, we have steam wands on the espresso
Đây là
machine.
cái cần đánh sữa hả?
We always have a cloth,
Chúng ta có
clean,
những cái miếng vải.
rinsed and kept fresh, that is only used for the wand. It doesn't get put anywhere else. You do not use this to wipe.
Thì chỉ dùng cái dĩa này để lau cái bề mặt này thôi, không có dùng để lau cái khác.
Of course, right? Okay? Simple, right? It's hygiene.
Đó là do vệ sinh ha, vấn đề là vệ sinh.
It's freshness. Okay? It's only touching this. This one, you don't use here.
Bạn sẽ không có dùng cái khăn đó
And
ở
you should
đây.
always have a spare on your counter to wipe the counter.
Rồi
So
bạn
it's
sẽ có một cái
clean.
khăn khác để mà lau.
Imagine you were going to a cafe to drink, and you see this, and then you're like, oh my god, run away, run away. Try, whilst you're doing the process of making a coffee, to clean as you go. So, clean pitchers. I have all my apparatus ready to go. A very useful tool, because coffee is dry, is a paintbrush. You can
Có dùng cái chổi
To
này nè
clean.
để mà
the coffee.
làm sạch cái cà
Off the
phê mà
counter.
rớt lên.
If you use a cloth, it's very messy. This is the magic.
Dùng cái này thì sẽ tốt hơn là dùng khăn vải để lau hơn.
So, when we're making espresso coffee, we have to have the right dosage. So how many grams goes inside here?
Bạn còn bao nhiêu gram ở trong cái tay cầm đó?
The size,
Kích thước của cái hạt cà phê, của cái hạt cà phê
and
sau
you
khi xay.
can adjust your machine. And all grinders are different, but they're basically the same. Coffee goes inside.
Bạn cho cà phê vào trong cái máy xay cà phê,
Coffee goes inside the hopper. It drops down into the grinding head,
sau đó nó sẽ rớt xuống cái chỗ
and it
mà
will
xay.
grind. Big pieces or small pieces. Okay?
Thì bạn có thể điều chỉnh được cái độ xay mịn hay là xay thô.
Your job in the morning is always to calibrate. It means to find the size. Okay, so now you found the size. And by experience, you will dose. Okay, so that to me is a bit too much. I'll try that. So, next, I distribute.
Sau đó thì bạn làm cho nó đều cái bề mặt.
There are many ways to do this,
Có nhiều cách để làm.
but don't do too much. Whatever you do it every time. If how you distribute, you do it one time, you do it 2 times, 3, 5, every time. But as long as it is consistent. Okay?
Nếu mà bạn muốn làm cho nó đều á, thì tất cả mọi lần khác bạn đều phải làm giống như vậy.
I try to tamp
Sau
flat.
đó thì bạn nén ha,
Try to tamp flat. I don't try to put too much heavy, not too much weight on top of my
không có
coffee.
nhiều áp lực quá.
And I'm trying to press down that soft coffee.
Sau đó bạn
So I usually have a tamp mat. I will lean in. That's a bit of polish. I want to make sure that this surface is flat.
làm sao cho cái bề mặt này nó phẳng.
It's level. Okay? And by experience you'll learn this. By touch you will learn this. Next, you want to lock the lugs
Sau đó bạn tra cái tay cầm ở trong cái
into the
hậu
head.
máy.
Before you do that though, the process is purge the head of water.
Sau đó bạn Đầu tiên là bạn xả nước cho nó sạch cái đầu máy trước.
You don't wait. The minute you do this, you do this, you don't do this. You do this, it's fresh. This is food. It's fresh now. 1 minute, not fresh. 2 minutes, not fresh. So if you hear, you
Cứ làm cho nó đồng bộ thôi thì nó mới giữ được cái độ tươi.
don't wait. Purge, in, boom, then on. Hopefully, it's enough coffee, it's the right dose, the right pressure, and you can brew an espresso.
Với cái liều lượng đúng, với lại cái thời gian đúng thì bạn sẽ có được một ly cà espresso rất là ngon.
Okay? And you want to see it even pour. So when you see it come out of the head, it should look like honey, thick.
Khi mà cái dòng chảy nó đi xuống thì nó phải nhìn cái màu của nó giống như màu mật ong vậy đó.
And I want that 25 to 35 mil in 25 to 35 seconds. But this is not the only way to brew. This is just the basic. You can explore less or more.
Có nhiều khoảng thời gian khác nhau nhưng mà thường sẽ dao động từ 25 tới 35 giây.
What is this? This is amazing actually. So this is the result. Two beautiful espresso, nice rich colours, with flecking, tiger striping on top. That golden brown on top is called crema.
Cái màu vàng
Okay, so
ở
that
trên đó
crema
nó gọi là crema.
is coffee, oil, and
Cái lớp này cái lớp
gas
dầu của cà phê.
mixed together. Okay, so this should taste pretty good, and we want that balance. So this is a recipe of water and
Nước,
coffee
cà phê,
mixing.
sau đó trộn lại với nhau.
Yeah, there's more. Most of this is water.
Hầu hết là cà phê là nước ở trong cái ly đó.
So your water must be good, fresh, clean,
Nước
and
của bạn
filtered.
phải sạch,
Yeah.
thanh chuẩn.
So there's another recipe. The important part of your coffee is fresh ground and freshly used coffee. Good process. Warm cups,
Cà
not
phê
hot,
của bạn phải tươi và
and
ly nó phải
extract.
nóng.
Okay? And then hopefully it will taste good and then off we go. Okay? Another version of making coffee is with coffee with milk. So we can use small cups, large cups. There's a lot of different versions. Famous is cappuccino. Okay? In a couple of this. The cup can be tulip shaped or it can be bowl shaped. It really doesn't
Ly thì
matter.
nó
So the technique for texturing your milk. So what we're doing
cái cách đánh sữa ha.
is we're heating up the milk. This should be clean.
Cái ca này phải sạch
Your milk must be fresh
và nước sữa phải tươi
and cold.
và lạnh.
It should have a good fat content. Good fat in the milk makes a better product when you're texturing your milk. So we're putting air inside the milk and we're heating up the milk.
Nếu chúng ta đánh sữa bằng
What
cách là
happens to
đưa
the
khí
milk?
vào trong cái sữa
Is that milk gets sweeter when it gets hotter.
sữa của bạn sẽ ngọt hơn khi mà nó nóng hơn.
Milk has lactose. Lactose is sugar.
Sữa có cái chất lactose thì cái chất
In
lactose
warm milk, you taste it. It is different from cold milk. The hot milk is sweeter.
khi mà bạn làm nóng sữa thì nó sẽ có vị ngọt hơn.
Hot rich milk with coffee. If the coffee is sweet, this is sweet. You don't need sugar in your coffee.
Nên là khi mà bạn có sữa
Specialty
ngọt rồi thì
coffee.
khi bạn không có cần đường khi mà uống cà phê.
Specialty coffee should be that. So, quick demonstration and then I'll let you have a play. So nice and fresh. Okay, clean. If you're not sure, some bars have a special sink, rinser, to wash these. Okay, we don't have one here
Có
today.
một vài chỗ thì nó có cái chỗ đặc biệt để mà
But,
rửa
but
cái
these are all
can
clean.
thôi.
It's been cleaned before.
Nhưng mà bạn phải làm
You
sạch
should
cái
not
can.
have old milk in here.
Không có sữa
Never
đọng
reheat
ở
milk.
trong.
If you
Và
don't
không
use
có
it,
đun sữa
throw it
lại
away. You don't reheat it. Don't reuse it.
và
Okay?
không đun lại sữa sau khi mà đã đun rồi.
with experience, you will learn how much milk to put in your pitcher.
Tùy theo cái kinh nghiệm thì bạn sẽ có thể biết được là bạn
For
cần
me,
bao nhiêu sữa trong
I've
cái
always
can.
learned a rule of thumb is that don't overfill. All these pitchers, milk pitchers have the spout here. Try to be just near or below. You can see it pulling down. How it's full, and you stretch the milk. You expand the milk. It will overflow. Hopefully, I don't make it overflow.
Mình phải chừa lại mỗi khoảng trống khi mà bạn đánh sữa thì để nó không có bị kẹt.
So you've seen how to make espresso. You've seen what makes a good bar. Process of texturing milk is very important. Again, you have your cloth. Put the cloth over and block the wand. Purge the wand. The reason for this, if you don't, watch this. A little bit of water will come out and spray, make a mess, or you'll burn yourself. This is very hot. This is okay here, but here, very hot. Don't touch it, it will burn you.
Ở đây rất là nóng nên là bạn không có chạm vào chỗ.
Okay, clean cloth. Okay, so we purge, wipe, place, and then we position. So what we want to do, it's very simple. The best way to get good textured milk is when it's cold and fresh. There's only 10% of time which will get that result. You want to shoot the tip of the wand at the edge of this jug. Okay? So if I have this as an example, I want this wand to come in and hit this bottom rim. I want it to hit this bottom, and then it will spin. And I want it to be just below the surface, and it'll make a hissing sound, a little sound. Okay? About 10% of the time to 20% of the time, this is when you make rich, thick milk. Okay? Once you see that stretching, and by experience and time, you move it to the middle, and you continue that vortex. Okay? You don't move it. Put it here, here, here. Finish. When the milk is too hot, it will boil. We don't want that. Then it's bad milk. Okay? Usually, a rule of thumb is you have one hand doing. So everyone come around this side and watch what I'm doing. So I've purged my espresso, and you should be trying to be efficient. So I do this, now brewing. And I'm doing together. If this finishes, that finishes. I can do two things at once. This is when you get professional. So I will go in, I'll turn it on, I'll find the position I'm comfortable with, and I'll get the angle. And I'll just make it hit in the angle, as I explained, and I'm trying to get it to touch the bottom, and it will spin. One hand holding, one hand is doing this. It touches here to turn it on. It touches here to feel the temperature. Your hand is your temperature.
Bạn dùng tay để mà cảm nhận cái nhiệt độ của cái ca.
By experience, you will learn very quickly. When you feel it's hot,
Khi mà bạn cảm thấy là cái ca nó nóng,
starting almost I can't touch.
gần như là không có đụng vào được nữa.
Okay? It's not hot enough to drink. Because you're going to put this hot milk into it, cool the cup, the temperature will drop. About 60 degrees Celsius is ideal.
Khoảng 60 độ.
When I serve my coffee, I can drink all of it. And it's comfortable. So, when you're here, on texture, so I'm getting the texture, now I'm heating. It's too hot to touch. I keep it there, I don't touch. I give it a couple of extra seconds to bring the temperature up a little bit more, and then I turn it off. That's it. I wipe for cleanliness. I put it back, and then I'm ready to go. And then I can do my pour. Okay? Very simple. So I'm in all the way. Stretching. Too hot to touch and get it off. It happens very quickly. So this is a small jug, difficult to do. What you want to see is shiny surface, no visible bubbles.
Bạn sẽ muốn có một cái lớp bề mặt rất là mịn mà không có bong bóng.
So on this, spoon will be good. Yeah.
Cái hộp.
So on the surface, you can see it has a shine. Okay. You don't see big bubbles.
Bạn sẽ không có thấy là có cái bong bóng lớn.
Okay. The temperature was a bit more than I can touch, and from this I can actually pour and drink. If you have some big bubbles, you saw me. Hard surface, sharp tap will kill any big bubbles. But you want to pour this straight away. Now already the milk and the cream is separating. So on top I have cream, rich and thick, and underneath that there is the hot milk.
Ở dưới là lớp sữa.
So you can't wait. You can't make this, put it down and then go. The temperature is dropping. You can't wait. So then, I want to make sure that I have a nice balance of how much cream. The way to cheat is to keep it moving a little bit, and then from there, you can pour. I'm no good at latte art, so don't judge me. There's a very small cup. You would get in, and you would pour. The basics is getting some balance of your cream in your cup. And the very basic is we call a monk's head, or an apple, or a backside. It's just pouring so that the milk cream comes out, and a little bit of shape, roundness at the bottom and the top comes. This is the most basic design you'll ever see. Okay, above this you have a love heart. To make a love heart, I would then, when I'm pouring, I would stretch and I'd pull to straighten out this tip here.
Có
And have a
nhiều
love
cách
heart,
để tạo hình
like so.
không? Thì đây là một trong những cái hình đơn giản nhất.
Then we have another one called a tulip. That's a tulip on the wall there.
Cái hình trên.
Another one here called a rosetta. So there's different techniques for making this. But I don't care.
Có nhiều cái kỹ thuật để mà làm cái này nhưng mà bạn không cần quan tâm không?
Why don't I care? Tell me.
Tại sao?
Drink coffee, not drink your coffee.
Yeah, so what are we doing when we're drinking the coffee?
Flavor.
It's the flavor. Right?
Cái hương vị mới là cái điều quan trọng.
If it looks like this, but it tastes like this,
Nó có thể trông rất là đẹp nhưng mà uống
you
thì không có
forget
ngon
about
tí nào
this
hết.
and you don't care. But it looks like this and it tastes like,
Nhưng mà nếu mà nó tạo hình nó nhìn nó cũng bình thường nhưng mà cái vị nó ngon thì bạn
it's
cũng
beautiful. It's joy. And that's the goal. This is fun to do. Don't waste your time with it. It's good to learn because if you put this together with the taste and then the interaction with your customer, you are winning. Then you have a successful business. Okay? So, who wants to practice? Who wants to try? Who has never made coffee before?
Muốn thử không? Mình làm đi.
các bạn nào muốn
Okay.
thử
Nên mà
We've got-
phải mua cái máy này rồi thì anh phải
We
lên
started late, so
Anh
we've
hiện giờ
got
chưa
probably
cần
another 30 minutes to
Lại
play
đây chuẩn bị nghỉ
on
rồi.
the machines.